Hey you guys, this may be a little bit off the cuff and I am walking as I'm talking, but I haven't checked in a while, so I wanted to say hello. And we do have some breaking news today. So, let's see if I can just quickly share this with you. And I even have notes. Now let me get my book here with the timing. Breaking news. My breaking news is very calm. Breaking news. All right. Breaking news. The new moon. Okay, so neither of these happened yet. I wasn't sure, at least in my time zone, Eastern time zone. We have a new moon tonight. New moon in Leo, 8 degrees Leo, for those of you who track that kind of thing. New moon, early Leo, plus Mercury stations to go direct. So this is interesting, and this is good, and this is big. Now let's see what I had. I'm very much I work from home, but then I always need a cafe or two. My home away from home, and since I just moved, I'm in the process of finding a new one or two. And yesterday I did find a place, not with Wi-Fi, but where I could sit and think and just type, take notes. So I took some notes for you. Let's see if they still make sense. Okay. Well, first the reminders. Information in the description box if you want to book a reading, if you want to become a patron, to get on my newsletter list, to purchase my Saturn book. I am starting work on a new book for Llewellyn, which is a different press than the Saturn book. So that's the news, and those are the links, which will be below. Now, in terms of today, why Mercury going direct matters, why this new moon matters. And Mercury is going from, it's going direct in Cancer, and then it will go back to Leo and just keep moving, return to Leo, I should say. It will return to Leo and keep moving through the signs until it goes retrograde again. Now, when Mercury goes forward after a retrograde period, I do feel like things speed up and we get back on track. Now, when Mercury is retrograde, some things do stop or slow down. We're not supposed to launch new things, but we can definitely tend to things that were already in the works. And I feel with the forward motion, with the direct motion, there is a speeding up, there is a getting back on track. For many of us, life feels faster, and that we're in sync again with people around us. Ideally, there are fewer communication glitches. Like, here's an example. I just moved, and it was a very long road trip, and we showed up, in one piece. Everyone was fine. There were no car troubles. There were no extra charges. But the one retrograde-y type thing was that it took longer. It took significantly longer. I think it took about 5 hours longer, something like that, than we had calculated. So that's how the retrograde played out, and I think that's pretty lucky as far as that's concerned, because travel plans can be one of those things that can get weird. But unless there's, an additional aspect happening in the sky or something happening in particular in your own chart, those sorts of things get back on track with our computers and electronics and communications and our plans and our traveling and our thinking. But even if you had to move or you had to sign a contract or you had to do one of these no-nos during the retrograde, life can't completely stop. So in the future, there could be a delay connected to one of these projects or a change. of some kind, but it's not necessarily a nightmare scenario. It's not necessarily a terrible thing, but there could be, just some sort of addition or subtraction, some sort of shift with it. And again, not necessarily a terrible scenario, but things that need adjustment. And again, I have found that we still move forward during the retrograde periods, but it is usually connected to something from the past that just, it has to be finished. And you may also notice linkages. I was telling folks this. You may notice the continuing story from what happened when Mercury was in Pisces. That stuff has come to fruition now. So Mercury going direct, I think we get back on track. Our emotions are less cloudy. Our thinking is less cloudy. We can make decisions easier. We feel sharper. We know what path. Oh, yes, Goldie. All right, you know what? I'm not going to edit this, so yes, Goldie, let's feed my cat. Let's feed Goldie together, and then I'll return to my thoughts. Or maybe I can multitask. I was saying, what was I saying? What path to take after feeling confused during the retrograde? Or sleight of hand is often how I think of retrograde times, that things seem a certain way, and it's not necessarily how they are or how they're going to be. So after the retrograde, we're less confused. We're less confused. We know what path to take. Thinking clearly again, moving forward. Also, we can see where we went wrong and what left is needed to do. Because if you were moving forward with new things during the retrograde, there's going to be a piece of those things that becomes clear in the next few weeks of what needs to be fixed with it. And again, this isn't necessarily horrible things or nightmare scenarios, but just adjustments, most likely. Okay, so after a retrograde, there's often this sense of full speed ahead. You may be feeling that already, that delays come to an end. And I would expect that you would feel this even if you didn't know that Mercury had gone direct. And it really is a new start. It's like an ace. It's like an ace in the tarot. And even more so having the new moon on the same day. Like, it's not just Mercury going direct today or Mercury stationing. It's also a new moon. So there's this powerful forward motion for us and a time for setting intentions. We can move forward again. So this new moon, as I was saying, is in Leo. And I was telling my patrons in more detail, telling them that this new moon is a celebration of you. It's in Leo. And Leo is associated with the sun. And the sun shines. The sun is about self-expression. And if you don't express your sun, the sun in your own chart, then who are you? Whose life are you living if you're not living your chart? I think the universe doesn't know what to give you then. If you're doing different energy, if you're, and it doesn't matter what else is in the chart, because I know we're all a combination. But let's say you're in Aries, and your chart is all this other stuff. And you forget you're in Aries, or maybe you're at 12th house Aries. There can be something unlived about you, and you know it, and everyone knows it, and figuring out how to be the best Aries you can be really matters. All right, I'm bringing Goldie up on the desk because he's yelling at me. Hello, Goldie. I know you can't see him, but he's here. You may hear him. He may speak again. The almighty tabby cat. Okay. I think I'd have to look it up. Goldie was born, I believe, I'm not sure if he's a Libra or Scorpio. I have to look it up. I think he's a Libra. Okay. So this whole thing about celebrating you has to do with this particular new moon being in the sign of Leo. For example, if this was a new moon in Virgo, there's a whole different set of resonances and keywords like service and health and helping. Or if it was a Gemini new moon, it would be more about communications, for example. But Leo is grand, and Leo makes an entrance. So I want you to make an entrance into this new cycle, into this new moon. And it's not too late, you guys, because it's tonight. It's not too late to set intentions today, tonight, even tomorrow. New moon in Grand Leo will be the most celebratory new moon of the year and a celebration of the you that you are, especially with Mercury going direct. And as I've been saying everywhere, we survived Cancer season and those aspects from Saturn and Pluto, and we survived eclipse season. And if you're still listening to this, if you're listening to me, you are still here. You made it. We made it through. This is a gift. This new moon in Leo is a gift for us. If there's some kind of pleasure, see, Goldie's getting it right now. He's scent marking the side of the computer. If there's some kind of pleasure that you can find for yourself today, I want you to find it. Some sort of a pleasure in yourself, in who you are, in everything you are, how amazing you are. That's my wish for you on this Leo new moon. And to express yourself. And what might that entail according to your own chart? And what parts of your sun are you not living? Something to think about. Okay, you guys, I'm going to go. And again, if you want to book a reading, if you want to become a patron, subscribe to my newsletter, follow me on Twitter, Facebook. Facebook is where I'm putting my written posts these days, not so much on my old blog. My old blog is still there with my readings information, but I haven't regularly blogged in a while. And that's all for now. That's all for the breaking news. So get ready to move forward again. And we will talk again very soon.